The league meta has got quite strange recently. A few months ago, everyone heralded the death of the AD carry role, but recently it's not been uncommon to see team comps with 2 or even 3 AD carries in solo queue and in pro play. So what is this triple AD carry meta? How the has it actually happened, or what are Riot doing to try and fix it? So as 2023 came to a close, many people were fed up with the abysmal state of AD carries.
AD carry is the single worst f***ing role in solo queue you can ever play in your f***ing life. It's absolute nightmare scenario territory f***ing horror.
AD carries were complaining that they needed to play pixel perfectly in order to not get deleted.
I'm flashing this guy. Is what it is, bro. Is what it is. Hey, season 14, but don't come crying to me. It is what it is.
The blame for this AD carry Dark Age was pinned on a variety of issues, ranging from the overtuning of lethality items to the 2019 minion XP nerfs, or even the map changes that made turret diving AD carries a little too easy. By spring this year, it wasn't uncommon to see pro teams elect to remove AD carries from their comps altogether in favor of a late game Senna.
I mean, literally got pentakilled last time.
God, what the?
Oh my god. Please remove.
Nah, you can't tell me that's balanced, bro.
Remove this.
2 autos.
That's a support. That's a support. I'm just, every time that happens, you just have to think, that's a support.
That was a little over 4 months ago, but if you tune to pro play these days, things couldn't be any more different. It's become a regular occurrence to see AD carries in not just their traditional bot role, but also picked regularly in mid and top as part of a triple AD carry comp. Last weekend in the LCK, in the same series, we even saw Chovy pick Draven mid, followed by Zeri, and he made it look like the most normal thing in the world.
True Shot Barrage also going to get a fair bit of value here as Heroic charge into the wall. That is going to lock down Canyon. Aftershock not quite working, but takes a while to kill him as it's 1-for-1, and the quickness value is revolting from Lahens. It's then just going to be an instant quadra kill for Chovy.
So how the hell have AD carries gone from being gimped beyond belief and at times even completely absent from team comps to often being the preferred choice in 3 separate roles? Well, the answer has a lot to do with the mid-season patch 14.10. Released in May, it brought a big overhaul to marksman items. Damage was increased on some core AD carry items, crit chances were increased, requiring less items to hit the crit cap, build pass and gold costs were also modified. Existing runes like Press the Attack were modified, while new runes like Absorb Life made AD carries way harder to poke out of lane. And in the same patch, the introduction of Fate's Ashes made AP junglers much stronger than their AD counterparts, so teams became more incentivized to balance the damage of their comp with the freshly buffed AD carries. To put it simply, AD carries have suddenly found themselves able to build better items with healthier build paths, sustain and outtrade better in lane, and be a much needed source of AD to complement AP junglers, all while being significantly tankier than in previous years thanks to the durability update. Corki and Tristana became the most busted examples of this, currently both sitting at over 80% presence in pro play this summer in top regions. Seeing AD carries continuously take up multiple roles in pro comps has not been to everyone's taste. Nobody has really felt like they're watching an interesting twist in the meta, it's felt more like a mistake that simply needs fixing. Some have even jokingly theorized that with the way things are heading, 5 AD carry team comps are right around the corner. Since Chovy picked Draven mid the other day in the LCK, even Faker has been spotted practicing it himself in solo queue. Patch 14.14 in mid-July saw direct nerfs to some of the more busted offenders like Tristana and Corki, as well as the Absorb Life rune. But Riot felt that's still not been enough to fix the monster they've created. Patch 14.15 aims to further reduce AD carry's early game power with nerfs to static, kraken and fleet footwork to reduce AD carry's 1 item power spike.
ADC has never ever struggled to find relevance later in the game. But when ADC is really strong early, AD carries get to have fun, but then you see Lucian, Corki, Trist mid. Then you see Zeri, Vayne, and TF top. Then you start seeing Draven mid and top. It's kind of interesting because I think I'm not going to have as much fun being weak early, but I'm going to have a little bit more fun that ADCs aren't on average like 4 to 6 ADCs per game.
There's not much doubt that these back-to-back patch nerfs will bring about the end of the double and triple AD carry comps we've seen increasingly more of over the past month or so, although pro play is a patch behind, of course, so you may very well see another Draven or two in the mid lane. But there's also been a larger question here about Riot's ability to properly balance AD carries. We all know that traditionally, when they're in the right hands, they are devastating. The entire role has to be balanced around the fact that a good AD carry in the mid to late game can be an unstoppable force. The trade-off has always been weaker early games when compared to other roles, and AD carries being more reliant on their team. That was taken to its extreme at the start of this year when AD carries became such a liability to their teams that players would rather swap them in for a Senna than try and make them work. Riot did listen to the calls for help, but as has been the way with other roles in the past like assassins, they were a bit too heavy-handed. The item and rune overhauls coupled with the need for champions that complement AP junglers led to a perfect storm. In a few months, AD carries went from arguably completely optional in a team comp to being best in role across all 3 lanes. Like I said, these changes will bring things a lot closer to how AD carries were earlier in the season, but the larger question is, does the role itself have an identity crisis here? How exactly does Riot balance something that swings so wildly at times between being obsolete and obligatory? Perhaps this deserves a video of its own. Yeah, I think if we ended up with 5v5 AD carry comps, I mean, it would be kind of fun to watch for a little bit. It'd be like a fun mode. Oh no, I'm not saying it would make sense, but I just think if that's where it ends up going, like, you know what I mean, like you could do a Baron rush with the enemy team still in the mid lane. I'm kind of for it. I'm kind of for it now, I'll be honest.